Ever notice how some of the world's most creative geniuses seem a little different? It's not just their talents or unique perspectives that set them apart. Sometimes there's an underlying reason for their quirks, their intensity, or even their seemingly odd behavior. Enter Asperger's syndrome, a condition that's part of the autism spectrum but often flies under the radar. Today, we're talking about the disorder that may explain why certain personalities, like Eminem and Anthony Hopkins, exhibit such extraordinary focus, creativity, and, at times, social awkwardness. These are two legends in their own right, but their journeys aren't just stories of fame and fortune. They're also stories of navigating the complexities of Asperger's. Let's unravel what this condition is all about and take a closer look at how it might have shaped their lives. Before we get into the lives of our two stars, let's break down Asperger's syndrome itself. Asperger's, once a standalone diagnosis, is now considered a part of the broader autism spectrum disorder. But don't let that label fool you. When we talk about Asperger's, we're talking about a condition often called high-functioning autism. It's characterized by social challenges, repetitive behaviors, and intense focus on specific interests, but without the speech delays typically seen in other forms of autism. People with Asperger's might struggle with eye contact, misinterpret social cues, or speak in a flat, robotic tone. They tend to have narrow, intense interests, think someone who knows every single fact about a specific topic, and may dislike changes in routine. But here's the kicker. While their social skills might be atypical, many individuals with Asperger's possess remarkable talents, from mathematics to music to, yes, even acting and rapping. Asperger's syndrome is named after Hans Asperger, an Austrian pediatrician who first described the condition in the 1940s. However, the history behind this name is a bit dark and controversial. Asperger's work was conducted during the reign of the Nazi Party, and some suggest that he labeled certain children as high-functioning to save them from the horrific policies targeting those with disabilities. While the intention might have been to protect these children, the legacy of his research remains a complex one, as it was intertwined with the dark history of race hygiene. In modern times, the use of the term Asperger's has been debated, especially since the 2013 update to the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, or DSM-5. Today, it's lumped into the broader category of ASD, but many still prefer the term Asperger's, especially when discussing those who function well in daily life, yet exhibit specific social and communication challenges. So, with introductions out of the way and our goal is set, hello everyone, and welcome back to Masterpiece. Today, we're diving into the quite obscure and interesting mental condition only known as Asperger's syndrome, and discuss almost all of its unique cases and what causes it in the first place, all while tackling what modern medicine advises us to do to treat such a condition. Whether you're a longtime subscriber or this is your first time here, I'm thrilled to have you join me. Alright, let's get into it. Eminem, the rap god from Detroit. If there's anyone who embodies the intense, laser-like focus often seen in individuals with Asperger's, it's Eminem. Known for his intricate wordplay, rapid-fire delivery, and emotional depth, Eminem's career has been marked by a singular obsession perfecting his craft. But it's not just his musical talent that sets him apart. Eminem himself has hinted at having Asperger's, particularly in his song Legacy, where he raps about being on the autistic spectrum. Think about it. His incredible lyrical memory, his obsessive need to rhyme every syllable, and his hyper-focus on wordplay could all be manifestations of Asperger's. Fans have long speculated about his potential diagnosis, pointing to his introverted nature, struggles with substance abuse, and, at times, awkward social interactions. He's known for being a bit of a recluse, shying away from the public eye when he's not on stage. But here's the twist. While Eminem has never publicly confirmed a formal diagnosis, his music and interviews provide a window into the mind of someone who might just be on the spectrum. His struggle to connect emotionally, his preference for isolation, and his fixation on certain themes in his lyrics could be signs of Asperger's. Now, let's talk about another legend, Sir Anthony Hopkins. You know him as Hannibal Lecter, the cold, calculating character in The Silence of the Lambs. But behind those piercing eyes and masterful performances lies a man who wasn't diagnosed with Asperger's until later in life. Hopkins once described himself as a loner, someone who always felt like an outsider, disconnected from the people around him. He has mentioned in interviews that he was diagnosed with Asperger's as an adult, and suddenly, everything clicked into place for him. His intense focus, his ability to memorize scripts with ease, and his somewhat robotic, straightforward way of speaking. These all fit the profile of someone on the autism spectrum. Hopkins has said that his condition actually helped him in his acting career. The very traits that might make social interactions challenging, like his intense attention to detail and his methodical way of thinking, have become his superpowers on screen. He's able to dive deep into a character, analyzing every nuance and delivering performances that are nothing short of mesmerizing. It's important to remember that no two people with Asperger's are alike. The symptoms can vary widely, but they usually fall into three main categories. 1. Social challenges. This is often the most noticeable symptom. People with Asperger's may struggle to understand social cues, have trouble making eye contact, and find it difficult to hold conversations. They might come across as socially awkward or even rude, but it's not intentional. They simply process social interactions differently. 2. Repetitive behaviors and routines. A hallmark of Asperger's is a preference for routine. Sudden changes can be distressing, and repetitive behaviors like hand flapping or repeating certain phrases can be a way of coping with anxiety. 3. Intense focus and narrow interests. Many individuals with Asperger's have a special interest that they can talk about for hours. For Eminem, this might be his music and lyrics. For Hopkins, it could be his acting and meticulous character study. Their focus can be so intense that it borders on obsession, but it's often this very trait that allows them to excel in their fields. There's no one-size-fits-all treatment for Asperger's, but there are therapies and strategies that can help manage symptoms. Cognitive behavioral therapy is often used to help individuals with Asperger's recognize and change unhelpful thought patterns. For someone like Eminem, channeling his thoughts into his music could be seen as a form of self-therapy, helping him process his emotions and make sense of the world around him. Social skills training can also be beneficial, teaching individuals how to navigate social interactions and read body language. For someone like Hopkins, learning these skills later in life might have been a game changer, allowing him to connect better with his peers and audiences. Despite their incredible talents, both Eminem and Hopkins have faced challenges because of their Asperger's. There's still a lot of stigma around autism spectrum disorders, and many people have misconceptions about what it means to live with Asperger's. It's not just about being quirky or socially awkward. It's about seeing the world through a different lens. But here's the good news. As awareness grows, so does understanding. More people are starting to realize that having Asperger's isn't a limitation. It's a different way of thinking, one that can bring immense creativity and innovation to the table. Eminem and Hopkins are proof of that. They've turned what could be seen as a challenge into a strength, using their unique perspectives to create art that resonates with millions. In a world that often values conformity, the stories of Eminem and Anthony Hopkins remind us of the power of being different. Asperger's syndrome, for all its challenges, can be a gift, one that allows individuals to see patterns, focus intensely, and create in ways that others might never imagine. So, next time you listen to an Eminem track or watch a Hopkins film, remember, you're experiencing the brilliance of a mind that doesn't fit neatly into a box. And that's what makes it truly extraordinary. The key takeaway is that neurodiversity is not just something to be accommodated, It's something to be celebrated. Because sometimes, it's the people who think differently who change the world. And there you have it. I hope you found this video helpful and learned something new. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content like this. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to stay updated. If you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover next, make sure to drop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.